craving certainty. We want a formula we think will protect us from failure. We say things like, she's successful, so I should just do what she did. This worked for them, it must work for me. If I follow these steps, I'll be safe. But friend, safety doesn't come from following someone else's plan. It comes from self-trust. And that is what I believe is the future of leadership. We're unlearning, reclaiming, reconnecting. Hello. Welcome back to Rebel to Rise, where business meets human design, and where we unapologetically ditch the rules that were never made for us in the first place. This episode is going to be a little more vulnerable for me. I have constantly struggled with this need to put on a happy face, look like I have it all put together, and I have a tendency, which I'm trying to move past, that I always need to respond, I'm fine. Well, guess what I learned? FINE stands for fucked up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. And that is a bit dramatic, but yeah, that sounds about right. It's felt messy for me lately. I'm trying to move, but my feet ain't moving. It's frustrating because I know exactly what I need to be doing, but it's not happening. And I want to say this because maybe you felt this way too. And I was on a call with my coach the other day, and she brought up this messy middle, this space between who you were and who you're becoming. And yes, that is exactly where I am right now. This tug of war between breaking free from my old patterns based on everything that I was taught, but totally drains me, and leaning into this scary but exciting idea that the more I trust myself, the more I could build a business that feels aligned and energizing. I spent a good chunk of my 20s following the formula, the success roadmap, if you will, of do well in school, get a job, climb the ladder, make your parents proud, prove you're successful, be somebody. So I got the degree, I landed the job, I played the part. I wasn't miserable, but I wasn't motivated anymore. I remember sitting in a cubicle thinking, is this it? This cannot be it. I felt like I was trying to force myself into this mold that was not meant for me. I was not in an environment that allowed me to thrive. I felt like I was constantly trying to prove myself, and my skills were never valued. And then the same thing happened to me in my business. I left the 9-to-5 to only find myself signing up for every online course, following the next, this is how you get client strategy. And I have since done the internal work and know that by me just signing up for all these courses, I was in an indirect way trying to prove myself and to others that I was not a failure. I've since learned that I know more than I give myself credit for, and I need to lean into what I know. I am already powerful. I already have skills and knowledge, and I need to be confident in those. But all that said, things that are deep inside you, conditioning, could still pop up. And for the last few months, my body has been whispering to me, social media is not your thing. But I ignored it. I even signed up for another how to create content course. And you know why? Because the loudest voices online keep telling me you have to be visible. You have to post every day. It's just what it takes. And I thought I was stronger than that, but honestly, in this world of constant consumption, there can be this subconscious pressure to mold myself into someone else's success formula. And it's been making me feel more lost, and I wasn't even realizing it. So you know what I did last week? I literally said, fuck it. I'm done with social media. And well, not 100%, but I don't want the algorithm telling me what to do. I want to post and be visible when I want to be, and not just because I was told that's what I should be doing. To some, that might seem crazy to not constantly be online, but I'm done doing what is expected. I want to stand out and be seen for the individual I am and not blend into the sea of all these other people trying to push out content all day. That's not where I want to spend my time. From my own experience in working with my clients, I deeply believe we cannot conform and expect to feel fulfilled. We're not meant to lead or live as a cookie cutter version of someone else. So today, we're talking about that. We're talking about the future of business, the future of leadership, the future of success, and I believe that future is individualized. Let me say it plainly. The old model of just following these steps is crumbling because it was never designed for you. That 7-step strategy that worked for one CEO might completely drain you. That productivity system that helps someone else soar might trigger burnout for you. That sales funnel template that's proven to convert might feel gross and out of integrity for you, and that's okay. The problem is we've been conditioned to believe there's a right way to succeed, but there is no one right way. There is only your way. That's why I have found human design is so powerful. It reminds you that the way you're designed to lead, work, rest, and make decisions is completely unique to you. The more we try to copy and paste someone else's business model, the more out of alignment we become. A way to think about this is, have you ever stayed at an Airbnb and turned on the TV to find it logged into someone else's Netflix account? Initially, this might not seem like a big deal, but as you look around, it's filled with suggestions you don't want and shows you don't care about. You can find something to watch, but it's going to take longer to find the show because now you're sifting through someone else's show preferences versus if you were on your own account, which already knows what you like to watch. It's the same for a leader. If you're moving through someone else's strategy and trying to make it your own, you might eventually build success, but it's going to take longer. It's going to be less fulfilling since it was based on what was right for someone else, not designed for who you are. So why do so many leaders keep following these one-size-fits-all paths even when they don't feel right? It's because most of us are in survival mode. We're craving certainty. We want a formula we think will protect us from failure. We say things like, she's successful, so I should just do what she did. This worked for them, it must work for me. If I just follow these steps, I'll be safe. But friend, safety doesn't come from following someone else's plan. It comes from self-trust. And that is what I believe is the future of leadership. And that's what I teach. We're unlearning, reclaiming, reconnecting. So if you've been leaning into your human design, practicing self-trust, like waiting to respond or waiting for the invitation, but doubting you're doing it right because nothing is showing up, pause. You're not doing it wrong. You're learning to tune out the noise so you could actually hear yourself. And yes, that will take time to shift into this new way of leading, this way of self-leadership. And again, that is why I love human design. It is your permission slip to stop doing what drains you and start doing what lights you up. And this is exactly what I did when I realized social media was draining me. I kept pushing myself to show up because showing up was what the experts say to do. But every part of me was like, nope, not happening. So I paused, tuned out the noise, and tuned in, and decided to show up in a way that felt good to me. And being visible to me feels good when I'm networking and talking to you, sharing my voice in a format that actually excites me. That's what alignment looks like for me. So take a moment here to reflect. What have you been pushing yourself to do lately that doesn't feel good? Where are you trying to keep up with someone else's version of success? When you're constantly influenced by outside energy, it's really hard to hear your own. And when you can't hear your own voice, you fall back into these old molds. And that's exactly what happened to me. I was staying so busy and falling into these old patterns of fear and a bit of insecurity that I started consuming more and listening to those voices that were not my own. But when I took the time to pause and tune back in, I regrounded and found my way back to what was right for me. And when you start experimenting with your design, even if it's just noticing where you're being pressured by others, that opens up the door for more clarity, more confidence, and a way of working that actually works for you. Awareness is the first step. And if you want to dive deeper into your human design, including insights on where you might be conditioned and letting others take your energy, check out my Intro to Human Design report. It's a custom blueprint to help you understand yourself and start making aligned moves in your life and business. I'll leave the link below. Now, let's talk leadership, because being individualized isn't just a solo thing. You still have clients, you might have a team, you're building relationships. So here's what's key. The more you lead from self-awareness, the more permission you give others to do the same. That means encouraging your clients to find their rhythm, not just follow yours. Give your team freedom to work on their strengths and not micromanage based on your preferences. And create space for honest conversations about what actually works for people in your world. A leader who embraces individuality doesn't just say, do it my way. They say, let's find the best way for you. And a huge key with this is also be open to adjust, because individualized leadership isn't about control, it's about co-creation with those around you. So, how do you actually start embodying this individualized success? Let me break it down. First up, please try to consume less. Seriously, stop downloading freebie PDFs, binging YouTube, and taking new courses when you haven't fully applied what you already know. Stop giving your power away to every guru that shows up in your feed. When you really need to learn something, that is the time to consume. I still take courses on topics I need help with, but that's after I already tried applying what I knew. Because by consuming less, I can clearly see what I need help with versus signing up because I'm not trusting myself. The more you consume, the more you drown out your own voice. So by being selective in what I consume, I am able to not listen to outside pressure and get very confident and grounded in, yes, I need help with this because I confidently know I need help with that, not because of a fear and insecurity or not trusting myself. I also want you to experiment with your human design more. I know I talk about it a lot, but the key is to experiment. There's no one right way to use your human design. Try just one thing. Give yourself full permission to do it messy. Your human design isn't here to be perfect. It's here to be played with and to experiment so you find your groove and feel into what is meant for you. I also want you to check where you're compromising. Where are you saying yes out of guilt, obligation, or pressure? That is the fastest path to burnout, when you're compromising your own values. I also want you to build a custom strategy. Your business should reflect how your energy naturally wants to flow. If email marketing feels better than doing reels, do email marketing. If one-on-one lights you up more than group work, focus on one-on-one. Don't force yourself to do things that drain you. There's always another way. And this is where those critical thinking skills your high school teacher drilled into you come in. Think critically about what strategies you learn and implement. I want you to take a deep look and understand really what do you need help with. And what I found most helpful is when I learn from someone, I take parts of their strategy that I feel fit me best. I learn from other people all the time. I love seeing what other business owners are doing. But I just don't blindly copy and paste those strategies into my business and then when they're not working out, blame myself. What I do is look at what other people are doing and take parts of those strategies and make them my own. It's all about experimenting and making adjustments and finding what is best to you. So again, I want you to go out and learn if you really need to learn a new skill. I just don't want you to copy and paste. I want you to use a little critical thinking and see if that is actually the right strategy for you, what you want, your values, and how you envision your business and how you feel when you think about implementing that strategy. And lastly, I want you to trust what you already know. You're not behind, you're not broken, you're not lost. You're learning to lead from a deeper truth, and that takes time, but it's so worth it. Your path is yours, and sometimes that will feel like it's going by fast. Sometimes it'll feel like you're getting behind, but there's no right or wrong way. There's only your way, and you need to trust that wherever you are, that is exactly where you're meant to be. Because it might feel like a lull right now. Like for me, I feel like I'm in a lull and not much is happening. But this is the time where I could reconnect myself, to tap into why am I feeling so messy? And so I really appreciate this messiness because it's teaching me to be stronger and become a better leader so I can show you the way, a way that feels good and aligned to who you are. And this all comes back to that I really believe the future of business is individualized. It's not about fitting in, it's about breaking out. You are steering the business, your voice, your design, your way of leading. So this week, I want you to get curious. What would it look like to stop following and start leading? What would your business look like if you trusted yourself more? What if your path wasn't meant to look like everyone else's? Because spoiler alert, your path is not meant to look like anyone else's. Whatever came up for you in this episode, I'd love to hear about it. Leave me a comment with your biggest takeaway. This episode was a little more vulnerable for me in admitting that I don't have my shit together. I am not good at saying that. I feel like as a business coach, I am supposed to have it all together, but that's not always the case. I am a human too, and there's these parts that I think we hide away, but if we express them more, that we could connect with people and show them that there's nothing wrong if you're feeling this way too. It's just part of being a leader, of being out there in the world and trying to find your way. It's a messy place for us all. So, if you need help building your path, I'm here. I am just a comment, a DM, or email away. Whatever comes up for you, let me know. I want to hear and hold space for you to feel heard and seen. And as always, don't hesitate to let me know what else you want to hear on this podcast, or if there's any topic you want me to go into deeper. I want to be here and help you where you're at, so never hesitate to let me know. Until next time, keep rebelling, keep rising. Thank you for joining me on today's episode of Rebel to Rise, where business meets human design. I hope you feel inspired to break free from those shoulds in your life and trust your inner compass as you create a life and business that truly lights you up. Remember, every day is a chance to rebel against the ordinary and rise into your authentic power. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a fellow rebel who's ready to lead their lives unapologetically. Until next time, keep trusting your intuition, keep breaking the rules, and most importantly, keep rising.